Can you talk a little bit about how you just practice
Cover your
knowing a
assets.
contract? Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely the contract is your friend and your savior. If you should know your contract inside and out, you should refresh yourself periodically. You should go back when you're at the point of a question and read it again, even if you think you know exactly what's in there, and
Yep.
get it in writing. Because there's and property management is a little bit of a different animal in that verbal representations can often be upheld in a way that they can't necessarily.
Oh,
Sorry about that. I'm sure Mark's going to come out and
no.
hassle them in a second. Um, but if you have a good sound contract, you can always go back and rely on that and hold people. So, I mean, I have found myself saying many times when things go sideways, we have a contractual relationship. This is what the contract says. This is what you're responsible for. This is what I'm responsible for. I tend to default from a place of being happy, shiny people, but I am willing to melt somebody's face off if we have to.
I could see that. Just saying. I can see you kind of like we talked about this a couple weeks ago at the office where when I'm working in the zone, I have this resting bitch space that I never knew existed until my assistant at the time took a picture. I'm like, holy shit, what was I doing? She's like, you're just working. That's how you look. I'm like, oh my God. But I could see that just in knowing you as a person that we, I mean, as much as we know each other now, that I could see you being this super nice, very nurturing individual. And then like, yeah, no, that line's drawn. You step across this line, I'm gonna backhand you. I get that feeling from you. So that's kind of cool because you have that power, but you also know that you're really nice, superhuman. So it's kind of cool to have the dichotomy of those two things, which I'm sure helps you very much so in running your own brokerage and doing all the property management stuff because is it not true that probably the bulk of all lawsuits in the real estate world come from property management companies?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but there's also a
Yeah,
lot of conversion and commingling that I think
right.
going on that you have to be really cautious of.
Gotcha.
That will land you in real estate jail.
Yeah.
But around that, I have a policy and a process around being nice and then being not nice.
Yeah, that's good.
And I call it my be nice twice policy. And it's the first time I'm going to do everything in my power to solve the problem.
Mm,
The second time I'm going to go way above and beyond, even to my own detriment to
mm,
solve the problem. And if we are having conflict on the same issue for a third time, at that point, I assume you don't want to be helped. I'm going to shut it down.
mm.
This is what it says. This is what we're going to do. And, melt your face off. So, and I found that, or I learned to implement that because, like many women, I'm not saying men don't experience this as well, but I think women, especially in our culture,
Mhm,
told to be nice. We are told
mhm.
to be conciliatory, and you get agitated and you default to that position of how am I gonna be nice? How am I gonna and you can really wind up in a sort of abusive loop,
Mm.
both
Yeah.
owners and tenants
Yeah,
who
Yeah.
understand you're not in a position, or you have to kind of take it.
yeah.
So if you don't put a parameter around it, it's hard to fall back on it and take the right stance when you need to.